Hi, I'm Melissa Gallico, author of The Hidden Cause of Acne. I am also a former military intelligence officer, Fulbright scholar, and FBI analyst. I use those skills to put together a podcast series here in my spare bedroom to expose the pollution story behind artificial water fluoridation. The show is called the F Pollution Podcast, and the first 3 episodes premiered this morning on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Please check it out, share it with your friends, and if you can, leave a review on iTunes. So few people take the time to write a review that each one has a real impact on getting the show and the pollution story behind fluoridation in front of more listeners. Here's a short clip from the podcast. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for listening. To prove my point, here's a document from a conference held on January 6, 1944, at the Hotel Pennsylvania in New York City. Now, if you go to the show notes and look at this document, you might have some questions like, why was this document produced by the War Department? Why was it classified? And why were representatives from Pennsylvania Salt and the Aluminum Company of America and DuPont and all these big industry leaders meeting with a seemingly random assortment of military commanders, dentists, university researchers, and public health officials for a classified conference on, quote, fluoride metabolism? Hopefully the answers to those questions will become more clear as the story unfolds. But for now, I want to draw your attention to the paragraph on industrial fluoride hazards in the summary of proceedings. I highlighted it for you. It's on page 6. It says, quote, reference was made to the older observations of fluorosis in cryolite workers in foreign countries. It was stated by several members of the conference with long experience in industrial hygiene of fluoride-using industries in this country that they had never met with this disease in their factories. We know this isn't true because the companies at that conference were paying the university researchers at that conference to study the extent of fluoride toxicity in their factory workers. The paper trail on this is enlightening, to say the least. When these companies came across evidence of fluoride poisoning in their employees, they simply closed their eyes and refused to see it or tell anyone about it. They especially weren't going to tell the workers or nearby townspeople who could sue them for industrial fluoride poisoning, or the government officials who could saddle them with expensive regulations. Here's a written example that illustrates this point very clearly, but first I need to give you some background.
It kind of reminds me of that story about, the two fish were in the aquarium and the older fish swims by and he says, hey guys, how's the water? And they're like, what's water? Because it's just around them all the time that you don't even notice it. So fluoride is just so ubiquitous in our society. So we put it in the water. It's in so many foods. It's a pesticide. We're exposed to it so much that people don't realize how it's affecting them because it's always been that way.